People start the martial arts for a lot of reasons, but one that's not really often talked about is how the martial arts has an effect on a person's mental health. Hey, what's up? I'm Ken. This is kenfuTV, and each week I release videos talking about the martial arts. If this video has value for you, or if you think this video could have value for somebody else, please share it. Get it out there. And let's have a conversation about how the martial arts has an effect on people's mental well-being. So this has been a video that's been on my mind for quite some time now. And if you've watched some of my other videos, then you'll know that parts of this, things that I think about this, have been kind of drip released throughout because it's a part of who I am and how I feel about the martial arts. But my inspiration for the video today is a man by the name of Les Bobka. I met Les in one of the most unlikely places. Got involved with a practical karate martial arts group where people's focus is on the practical application of karate. The functional stuff, the bash each other's heads in kind of stuff. That's where I met Les. He wasn't there for that. He believes in the practical karate and that has to make sense. But his approach to it is all about mental health. He was the one that sent me this t-shirt. And that was kind of the inspiration to finally get off my butt and do this, is having the shirt that says Karate for Mental Health, which is what he's working on. He's also written this book, The Anxious Black Belt, and I'm really wanting to talk to you guys about that, but that'll be for a different video. So one of the first things that I really realized as I started having a more prominent role in our dojo here is that people show up for a lot of reasons, but a lot of people show up for the same reasons. They show up because of things like a lack of confidence, anxiety, depression, having gone through traumatic experiences, violent experiences, sexual experiences, manipulative experiences, and they're looking for that answer, that thing that's going to make them feel like they have a fighting chance. I don't personally believe that any one thing is the answer to those situations, but I do believe the martial arts provides a lot of benefits towards mental growth, mental strength, and improvement in mental health, mental well-being. So today I really want to talk about the reasons why I think the martial arts is beneficial for mental health and just overall quality of life. So one of the first lessons that I learned in our dojo was how to be selfish. And that sounds really weird. It seems opposite. It seems contrary to the kind of things that we try to learn in the martial arts. But what it was about is I was taught. My instructor showed me how to bow on the way into the dojo and then told me what that was for. And for us, by his definition, that was to take a moment, set the things that are going on in your life aside, leave them out here, give yourself permission, actively give yourself permission to train, to do something else for an hour, hour and a half that you don't have to feel guilty about doing. That you can steal this time is yours, and you can use it, and those things in your life will still be there when you get done. On the opposite side of the scale is the bowing on the way out, transitioning, mentally preparing yourself to take these things back on and go tackle them, but with a new perspective, a new outlook, after you've had a chance to, reflect and get your head right in some cases, or even just after a good workout. I think that's really important, and it's the first step to making the martial arts something that helps you in a positive way in your life. I think a lot of things can do this. I think you can have activities that are treated this way, but we don't often take the time to actively pay attention, to actively choose to focus on ourselves for a minute and to let other things go, and not let those things color our day for just a little bit, just a little break, a little clear headspace. And that is powerful. Among the other things that comes from martial training is confidence. The martial arts are structured in a way where the steady building of confidence, skills grown over time, and confidence in those skills, confidence in yourself, is built up little by little in a place where it's not, or at least shouldn't be, also being broken down. Instead, constantly working forward. And it's not people are just cheerleading you on and telling you that you're doing great and that sort of thing. It's not always that. Sometimes, very traditionally, it's not that at all. But instead, what it is lots of little accomplishments, little things that you couldn't do yesterday that you can do today. And those just add up. They pile on. And then when you look back, you've gained all of these skills that are well beyond anything that you ever would have thought that you'd been able to do. And for some people, it's as simple as leading a warm-up, standing up in front of the class. And even though you're walking people through doing the same thing they do every class, and everybody does it the same way, just standing there among your peers, having to show them what to do is a lot. If you have a martial arts style that does forms, standing in front of people and doing your forms can be a complete panic attack, right? For me, to be honest, it was sparring. I could get in and do kata, I could get in and do kihon, my basics, I could warm up, I could train, I could hit the bag, do all that stuff. But when we'd spar, anxiety would get the best of me and it would just shut me down. Now I'll spar any day, anywhere, and that confidence is not a problem. And that confidence bleeds into other things that I can now do in my everyday life, because I went through something that I felt that for me personally was harder, and I got through it. I made it past that and I overcame it. Everybody's different. Guaranteed that everybody in the room has something that they're working on, something that's holding them back, something that's putting them under stress, flaring up their anxiety. They might be dealing with demons, the depression side of things, where voices are telling you how you're not worth it and you're holding the class back and you shouldn't even be doing this, and people are not getting to get their benefits because you're in the room, and all this stupid stuff. Doesn't stop it from being real. Doesn't stop it from having an effect on our brains, right? Those things change over time. The martial arts helps those things build and grow in a safe way. And I don't just mean safe as in nobody's getting hurt, but also in a way that doesn't create scars, replace one trauma with a new trauma. Not all schools are created equal. You go look at the Karate Kid to see especially if you go watch the new Cobra Kai thing, and you'll see the difference of who Johnny Lawrence was and how bad instruction left him with scars mentally and emotionally that he's had to overcome that have been really difficult. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be in a place that you trust. But that's one of the things that is a benefit to a good martial arts school, is that it is a place that you can trust. It's a safe place where you're encouraged to fail. You're encouraged to fail quickly and repeatedly so that you can learn from those failures and you can develop and you can grow, and you help each other fail and you help each other grow. And that is an important thing. A thing that we keep trying to get rid of is failure. We want to craft different areas in our schoolwork, in our work life, and all of these places where it's not that failure isn't an option, it's just a thing that never happens. You don't learn if you don't fail. You need a place to fail. Failure builds strength if it's handled properly. So a good school will let you fail, will encourage you to fail, and will help show you how that failure can become something great and not just leave you in that failure. A good school is a place that you can feel safe, that you can have people around you that you can feel comfortable being around and maybe start opening up to. For a lot of people, one of the things that group activities do. The thing is, a lot of the things that I'm saying about the martial arts apply to group activities, not just the martial arts. But group activities, you can build friendships, really strong friendships, give you people that you can talk to, who you can have conversations with. Maybe give you a coach or a sensei or somebody who you can open up to. You can work through some things. And that's not a replacement sometimes of counseling. And so sometimes those people in there will be the right people to encourage you, to help support you when you go to talk to somebody else. Maybe you need that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And having people around you that can support you through that is a big deal. If you're in a bad place in your life, or you've got bad experiences, or surrounded by bad people, sometimes part of being in a good school is just having a good place to go, being around the right kinds of people, the right kinds of influence, so that you can build the kind of person that you want to be. And maybe you spend less time around the people who are dragging you down and reinforcing the negative parts of your life. With different types of trauma, sometimes the dojo is exactly where you need to go to experience healing and recovery from those things. Those things aren't easy to work through, and it can take time, and being around people and having a good place can help that healing take place. And I'll finish up talking about the thing that is probably one of just the simplest and best ones, which is just that martial arts is physical activity, physical exercise. And it's been proven time and again. There's chemical imbalances that that reinforce negative headspace. And physical activity helps develop endorphins, helps release serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine and all of these things that can help you have a positive headspace, can make you feel better, can make you feel better about yourself, can make you feel better about your life and where you're going right now. And it also helps reinforce the parts. So depression itself has the ability to dampen our ability to experience positivity and positive things. And physical activity just has the ability to help encourage the body to allow those things to take place, the chemical balance that helps put us back into a good headspace. One of the hardest things about that is depression naturally causes lethargy and just exhaustion, where we just don't want to. And unfortunately, that's the thing that's killing us, right? It's keeping us from that. So we go, God, I don't have any energy. I'm just sapped. I'm exhausted. And so you don't go do it. When meanwhile, it's just stopping you from doing one of the very best things that's going to help you feel better. It's going to put you in a better headspace. It's going to help you get away from some troubles for a while. What do you do when you're depressed and lethargic and not doing anything? Go home, you sit on the couch, you lay in bed, and you dwell on every negative thing that has happened in your life today, this week, this month, this year. And you just think about it over and over, and you invent ways of thinking about it, perspectives that just reinforce all the negative things that maybe weren't even there, but it's how you perceived what took place. Then you go get on the mat, and instead you're active, you're kept busy, your mind is focused on something else, and it helps you get away from those things. It helps quiet those voices that are reinforcing all the negative parts of your life, and helps you experience the positive things in your life. Helps you develop growth, helps you feel better, helps you get in better shape, which in turn just continues to cycle its way through just generally having a better quality of life. Maybe you don't have anxiety, maybe you don't have depression, don't have those things, but maybe you have things like ADHD and focus issues. A lot of schools build exactly that. They teach focus and discipline in a lot of different ways. I mean, that might mean something different to you than it does to me, but it's a lesson that's taught that helps you dial in and pay attention and just focus, shut other things out, and be locked into the thing you need to be locked into. A lot of classes teach breathing exercises, ways to just help breathe and relax and just generally handle emotions, and the fact that we all ride the roller coaster that is our emotional system. And being able to breathe through that and come to understand how to control our own emotions and stuff is a big deal and plays a big role. I believe very strongly, and my students will tell you because they hear it all the time, if you can't control your own breath, how can you control anything else? I believe strongly in that. Breathing right allows your body to function right. If I'm holding my breath or breathing really shallow, things like that, then I get exhausted, I get tired quick, I'm not getting oxygen to my muscles, and I'm just underperforming. And when you perform well, whatever that is, you could be a top tier athlete, and performing well could mean one thing. It could be somebody who works out 30 minutes once a week. Either way, when you perform well, when you have a good run, it feels good, and it reinforces that need to do it again. And when you continue to have successes, I talked earlier about how we strive to find failure. Well, when we meet failure with adaptation and we overcome those failures and we learn from them, then we're met with success immediately after. If we hit failure and stop, then the failure was it, and that's all we ever experienced. We have to hit failure and learn how to convert a failure to a success. And when we do, we start developing a habit of finding success. So that's it. That's it this week. That's just some thoughts that I have on the mental health and why the martial arts I think is so important to literally everyone. A lot of people don't understand what it is or why they might want to do it, and they might not be into it. But these are some of the reasons why I love it and why I've done it for years and don't ever want to stop. Now you might replace that with something else, some other activity. For some of the reasons I mentioned earlier, a physical activity is a strong one. Finding a good craft or something like that is good and can help give you some things, but it doesn't help the chemical side of things. And even if you don't have a chemical imbalance that's dipping into the negative zones and dampening your endorphins and serotonin and all this kind of stuff, who cares? It never hurts to have more. You know, you can be a totally positive person and hit that physical, emotional high that comes from activity and feel even better. I don't know why I wouldn't want that. So that's it. If you're doing the martial arts and it has helped your mental health, leave a comment. I want to hear about that. If you haven't done the martial arts and this video has made you think about it, let me know. I want to hear about that too. If you've got things to add to this, things that you think have helped you or things that I didn't talk about, drop those in there too. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you can do it right here. There's a playlist of videos like this one right here and a couple videos that you might like right here. I'm Ken. This is kenfuTV, and I'll catch you in the next one.